Happy Halloween, everyone. We've got a fun story today. Well, kind of. If you're afraid of things like, I don't know, capitalism, copyright infringement, furniture stores, we've got it all today, so let's get into it. The Swedish furniture empire of IKEA has sent a cease and desist order to an indie developer working on a survival-based horror game where the player is trapped inside of a seemingly endless furniture store. The game is being made by solo developer Jacob Shaw, and it's called The Store is Closed. It basically plays on that feeling of getting turned around in a big warehouse store, only in this case you're stuck for days, and at night the store staff turn into terrible monsters. Apparently the game was a little too on the nose though, as IKEA lawyers sent a letter to Shaw claiming he was committing trademark infringement. Part of the letter, which was acquired by Kotaku, reads, "Your game uses a blue and yellow sign with a Scandinavian name on the store. A blue box like building, yellow vertical striped shirts, identical to those worn by IKEA personnel, a gray path on the floor, furniture that looks like IKEA furniture, and product signage that looks like IKEA signage. All the foregoing immediately suggests that the game takes place in an IKEA store." IKEA is essentially saying this is an illegal use of their brand because it's considered unfair competition as well as false advertising, in addition to the copyright infringement. The letter then goes on to tell the developer, "You can of course easily make a video game set in a furniture store that does not look like or suggest an IKEA store. You can easily make changes to your game to avoid these problems, especially since you do not plan to release the game until 2024. But then the letter says Shaw only has 10 working days to change the game and remove all indicia associated with the famous IKEA stores. So yeah, as you can see, the storefront in the game uses the same color scheme as IKEA, but the name Steer is assumed to be a joke spelling of store, and it's also Swedish for controls. I'm not sure if that's anything. According to Kotaku, who got an early build of the game, you only see the front of the store on the title screen. There is no branding or logos inside the store itself. As for the inside of the store having IKEA-like furniture, Shaw said, "I bought generic furniture asset packs to make this game. I don't know what that means." Hopefully this is just a matter of changing the color scheme for the outside of the store, the staff shirts, and removing the gray lines from inside the store in the game. But who knows how far IKEA's lawyers are willing to take things. While publishing this story, Kotaku actually reached out to IKEA for a response, and they actually got one. An IKEA rep said, "We reached out to the creator of the video," they're talking about the trailer for the game, "and asked them to make changes to those elements to ensure that this is no longer the case. They expressed that they understand our request and agreed to make those changes. This should all be well in time for the expected 2024 launch of the game." IKEA, of course, sees billions of dollars in revenue every year, while Jacob Shaw has just 3 days left on the Kickstarter that he started for The Store is Closed, which was set at a backing goal of around $10,000, I believe. At the time of this recording, it's up to about $60,000. So there's that. Players can also wishlist the game on Steam to show support if they wish, which doesn't cost anything at all. So it does sound like all of this ultimately should work out, but there is at least one setback, according to Shaw, who told Kotaku, "I was going to spend the last week of my Kickstarter preparing an update for all the new alpha testers, but now I've got to desperately revamp the entire look of the game so I don't get sued." And so there you have it. What's scarier than knowing these mega corporations are out there with their lawyers always watching? Even these little Steam games gotta watch their back. All right, that's gonna do it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and for more video game news and updates, stay tuned right here to Inside Gaming.